So, lads, all I'm gonna say is this season in my team has been shockingly bad. It has been shockingly bad in my opinion. However, I'm going to make a video where I'm going to talk about why I personally believe it is the worst season we've ever had. But at the same time, I will first of all talk about the positives and the reasons why. Positives to this season. Everyone who wants to use a 99 overall card of the biggest names in NBA history can at a relatively decent price. So yes, last year there was a case, like you could pretty much do that as well. But this year more so than anything. So if you just wanted my team to run, for example, your Jordans, your LeBrons, your Kawhis, your Kevin Durant's, you can. You can run those guys. And you guys can run them for as cheap as possible. The cheapest they've ever been in my team. That is the only positive of Season 8 in my team. So let's look at what we had from other years in Season 8 last year or in July. So first and foremost, I personally think the season concept is one of the best things in my team. However, combining it with Park was a death sentence from the start. And I said it last year, and I'll say it again. It puts 2K in a really weird position. Because last year, they didn't really give us any grindable content in Season 9, which was a 3-week season. However, what they basically did with Season 8, which is last year's Season 9 is equivalent to this year's Season 8. But those seasons lasting longer and longer, just kind of pushed the last bit of actual content into this season. And there is one other thing that I will say. If it actually turns out that 2K23 is some masterpiece game, and that the reason why we're not getting any content now is because they're trying to bring in and completely revamp unlimited game mode. They're trying to bring in a whole bunch of different game modes and completely revamp my team. If that ends up being the case, I will straight up say it. When I'm reading the dev blog, I will do it. I'm not too proud to apologize. If it's a whole new game built from the ground up, if there's a whole new look on my team, I will genuinely apologize while reading the dev blog. I will gladly apologize when the game comes out. But, lads, this is kind of pathetic, isn't it? So since the start of Season 8, we have got packs. And you might say, oh, these cards are on like boards and vaults. They're the RNG game modes. Since the start of Season 8, we have gotten 0, and I repeat, 0 achievable grindable content. As in, when I say like achievable grindable content, specifically achievable, as in by doing a certain thing you get a card. There has been one, and I repeat, one technically free card in this entire season. One single free card in the season. That is pathetic. You might be saying, oh, but like, what about other years? Now let's talk about other years. So NBA 2K20. This was kind of the first year of what I would call the modern my team. It's hard to talk about NBA 2K19 because gauntlets, all these challenges, they weren't really a thing. So, even gauntlets, just spotlight sims, they weren't really a thing. But let's look at NBA 2K20, and just my biggest word is variety. It is variety. And whether this is honestly a case of 2K showing their hand too early and not having enough to do, but I still don't believe that. Like, if you look from the start of July, look at this. Literally, like, we had, obviously, the cards came out, the Beasley card. And what's going on? We were still getting cards in Triple Chat Online. We were still getting this. It was literally like, obviously, the 1st of July is the 1st of July. So on the Tuesday, the 30th of June, was when all the Players Club cards went in the game. Sure, did we get the lower overall version of these cards most of the time? Yeah, we did. Which was a little bit unfortunate. But still, these cards were being released day by day by day. So as the days went on, more and more of these cards were being released. So it's not like these player clubs were all just on one day. So they were coming out every couple of days. There was another player clubs card. Obviously, they can't use that concept now, but they could very easily have put a whole bunch of like reward cards onto the database on the 1st of July, and then just gave them throughout the month. So basically what we had 3rd of July, the prime set comes to an end. As we learned from Idols last year, the Idol set is not something that can be a main Friday set anymore. However, last year through Season 8, we got every single Wednesday was an Idol set. I wouldn't mind an Idol set like this. I would not have minded to see it last year, just like the Hero set. They could have easily put in a set like that, and I know they have the Anniversary set, and I know they have Tuesday packs. So I'm not going to be too pissed at that. But then, on the 7th of July, we had grindable content. We had the last Spotlight Sims, the all-time Spotlight Sims for a GOAT Stephen Curry card. There's no reason there should not be at least every 2 weeks some sort of like. There's no reason they couldn't have put in like a Spotlight and actual gauntlets this year. Because they hyped up those Joel and B channels like they were gauntlets. Like, we can't forget. Like, I'm gonna show you guys, compare the cards in last year's gauntlet set and this year's quote-unquote gauntlet set. But then we obviously got that on the 7th of July. Then, obviously, just packs, not the end of the biggest thing. We had flash packs. We didn't overdo it with flash packs that year. A flash pack still kind of mattered. So we had like out of position Hakeem Olajuwon, some kind of like interesting cards. And I know they had swish packs last season, which kind of made out of position packs a little bit tough. But again, at this stage, they didn't even have to feel. They were still giving it diamonds. They didn't feel the need to just give out all dark matters because of just the way the game was. Yes, the game is more balanced now. I do agree. But it was just kind of interesting. Then we had a massive buzzer beater set. We were getting bigger buzzer beater sets. A lot bigger than the sets that we're getting right now. Then again, some out of position cards like Porzingis. And ironically enough, this is actually the first time I ever had a locker code to give out. Friday the 17th of... was it? No, sorry, it wasn't. This was the first locker code I had ever had to give out. This Carmelo Anthony. Then I also had a locker code for this Blake Griffin. That is before 2K hated me, and I'm not going to lie, videos like this are why 2K hated me. Then we had a fan favorite set, and fan favorite sets are huge. We really do enjoy fan favorite sets. Maybe this year it wasn't as hyped because I'm sorry, it wasn't really too much of a fan favorite set, was it? Like, there was a lot of cards that weren't really fan favorites throughout the year. Like, if we look at NBA 2K22's fan favorite set, you put Kevin Durant in fan favorite set. I'm sorry, I'm not going to lie, one of the most disliked players. Like, Dunktober Jokic, great. Kazi Russell, great. Caruso, I mean, okay. Like, Simfular was alright. I don't know what Justice Winslow was doing there. Kevin Durant should not have been there. KP, understandable, but Porzingis hadn't really been a god at that stage during the year. It seemed like that was just a normal set called fan favorites. Like, there should be, like, when you're putting out fan favorites cards, there should be, like, iconic players in the game. So, like, someone like ML Carr maybe should have been in there. Obviously, Dunktober Jokic was really cool. That was genuinely something really cool. Like, what the hell? Like, you just wanted to make Kevin Durant, so you put in fan favorites. But, as well as that, obviously, we then had NBA is back, which was huge. So basically, most of the like top NBA players that hadn't previously got cards. So like we hadn't seen a Jokic Dark Matter. We hadn't seen not Dark Matter Galaxy Opal. We hadn't seen a Westbrook. We had seen a Zion, but you had to like lock in for the Zion. We hadn't seen a Middleton. So all these like really good NBA players all got their cards in this unbelievable NBA's back set. And then obviously at the very end when they're giving out the Invincible or the GO cards, they gave us some of the best GO cards in the game at this stage. 2K21, like a really disappointing like end with the troll freaking Invincibles was annoying. But if you look at what 2K did in July, so first of all, Gauntlet Spotlight Sims. And I'm just going to say this, Gauntlet Spotlight Sims, not a single person in the world finished this in June. So that's what I'm just going to say. That was a set from June. Like Season 7, by the way, Season 7, Season 6 is spectacular. But I'm just talking about this season. If you look at the Return of Hero Challenger mural versus what we got last year. So, out of all of these cards right here, Embiid was fine. Ewing was fine. Mullen was fine. Minute Ball was quite good. Last year's Gauntlets, which were like the main grind, and even on the last day of the year, these Gauntlets were incredible. Of these Gauntlet cards, the pictures aren't loading. Taco was the best card in the game. Caruso was okay. Chauncey, not great. Like, Jay Rich was better than anything under Manute Bol, but he was still one of the weaker cards. Collins was alright. But again, in terms of really good cards, Gerald Wallace was insanely good. Houston was really good because he had Ray Allen base. McHale was really good, 7'11" wingspan. Gasol was pretty good. Jefferson was so annoying to get, but he was okay. Mark Eaton, a 7'4" center, although he couldn't shoot. Marion was alright. Sabonis was unbelievable. Reddish was really solid. Ty beat me literally just using this Reddish. Eddie freaking Curry was a beast. Hakeem was a beast. Wiseman was one of the top 5 centers in the game. Terry Dishinger was insane. Danny Manning was insane. Reggie Lewis was insane. Like, we're looking at these insanely good cards that were usable till the end of the year. And right now, there's like 1.5 cards in the entire thing that was usable. And this was the like be all and end all grind. I know it was the 2nd of June. I know it was a month earlier, but still, I assumed that because we got a 2nd of June grind, we were going to get something else. Because again, we did get a grind in June. Like, if we look at Spotlight Sims from NBA 2k20, like we had on the I'm trying to find where. There we go. So it was the 10th of June, and then suddenly it was like July the 7th. So we not even a month between that. So it was assumed to be another grind. As well as that, what we did get in NBA 2k20 was, even though we got a lot more players clubs as it went on, which were given out. We got token rewards. We got 99 overall token rewards to lock in for 750 tokens. We didn't get BS Hall of Fame badges that every single card in the game has, and that's meant to be content. Who the hell cares about a Hoff badge anymore? I'm sorry, if a card is 78 Hall of Fame badges, nobody cares if the card gets the 79th. It's just like... And we even got on the 29th of July, we got 20 new duos. Like, come on. Like, we know that that's not happening now. We know we're not getting any grind. And even if we look at NBA 2K21, we at least got like out of position 4. We got Space Jam themed cards to start season 9. Coming into the end of July, we were still in season 8. We had Pantheon Team USA, which I know you can make the argument that most of these guys from this Pantheon set, like the 98s, 99s, have their own like 99 overall cards now. And I kind of get that. But like Darren Williams hasn't. If you look at this, Darren Williams' last card this year was a pink diamond. Karl Malone's last card this year was a collector level reward. And I know, obviously, if you're going to put Karl Malone in the game at all, at least make him good. He's one of the best players ever. Trying to think who else. Obviously, we got Durant. Chris Paul, it is what it is. And Russell Westbrook. Like, Westbrook literally has not had a good card since ever. Like, if they gave Russell Westbrook, if they gave him like god tier stats, and even with his normal release, he's not absolutely horrendous. Clyde Drexler has not been seen since March. We've not had a Clyde Drexler that has been achievable for anyone without getting 3,500 cards since like November. Leitner. Has Leitner even had a card this year? He did. Leitner had Campus Legends card. Oh no, sorry, he didn't. He had the Spotlight Sim card. Sorry, he did. He had a 98 overall. Basketball John. Am I right in saying that a diamond is the best version of Basketball John that you can buy? Kevin Love, I know he had the Evo. He does it with Dark Matter. But like, it's been just so underwhelming. I loved Season 7. I loved Season 6. This season has been so underwhelming. And I do understand. I fully understand the fact that they're working on 2K23. But what I don't like is the fact that, you know what would actually make this season so much better? If, say, this locker code for Booker, you can do that. Why not? Could they have not? Obviously, they're not going to do it. I'm talking like, I wish that I'd been able to talk to them in a little bit of hindsight. But you know, it's 2K. They get really, really angry when I say something they don't like on these videos, but they still watch every one of my videos, because on the off chance I do say something that they think is a good idea, they just go straight away and steal it while keeping me on a damn blacklist. But like, why couldn't we have had cards that would never be hyped in packs? Why couldn't we have had, say, throughout the season, locker codes on Mondays. Locker codes on Mondays for guys like Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving, guys that no one would ever really get in packs but are big names. And then have, for like, throughout the season, on the Wednesday grinds. You see what you did last season with like Horace Grant? Why couldn't we have had 5 of those guys? And then at the end of it, the Wednesday thing where it's like a bunch of agenda challenges every single Wednesday. So a locker code card Monday, keep your packs Tuesday, or say not even locker code on Wednesday, make them Thursday. So keep doing what you're doing. Like, if it was locker codes Monday, packs Tuesday, which I'm cool with, packs Wednesday, packs Friday, and on Thursday an agenda to lock in for a card, and then at the end you lock in for a endgame Steph Curry, because it's highly unlikely we see an endgame Steph Curry. We've seen an endgame Taco and an endgame J.R. Smith. We're probably not going to see an endgame Steph Curry. And I actually do think that, while I do feel like the Tacos and stuff bring some hype into the game, I think that going way too wacky can actually turn off players as well. I think the way it's going, it has gone way too wacky. Like, and I'm someone that kind of enjoys wacky stuff. I think this endgame concept has made this game way too wacky. I know you don't have to use endgame cards. I just think that Taco Fall and Yao Ming run the damn show is just... No, that's when I think people are just checking out. And even more so, like, Taco Fall and stuff used to be glitchy in other years, but like now it's even worse. Last year was bad, this year it's kind of gotten even more wacky. But look, I don't think that's what's killing it. I think the fact that there's like no real reason to log into the game other than to see, oh, what 2 players are coming out. Oh, it doesn't matter what the end games are because they're all going to play the exact same. And I don't know, maybe I'm talking from the perspective of just a content creator. Maybe I'm talking from the perspective of being a MyTEAM news channel where almost my entire livelihood is based on 2K releasing content. So obviously I'm going to be annoyed when there's nothing to actually do in the game. But that's where the issue is. For me, it's not even that 2K are not releasing a lot of content. They're putting a lot of stuff out in packs. I can still make constant worth of videos. My views are still going okay. Yeah, they're not where I would hope they'd be, but they're still going okay. But at the end of the day, on a daily basis, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to turn on my PlayStation. I haven't turned on my PlayStation today. I played a couple of hours on a video yesterday where I actually tried to put in some effort, and I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 absolute tank job. Like, I don't like playing I don't find a reason to play the game. I don't ever think there's a reason to turn on the game. And I didn't feel that through Season 6. I didn't feel that through Season 7 at all. I always felt that there was a reason to turn on a game, because at least when I tried out cards, they felt new. Every one of these cards we've already used. We've already used these invincible teams. I understand for a lot of people they are new cards, so I don't think this concept is a wholeheartedly bad idea. I just think that it is not interesting. My favorite day is Wednesdays, because at least these cards feel freaking different. I think this is the worst season we've ever had. There has been no time where I've ever been less interested in turning on the game mode of my team. And it's a pity, because last year I was interested in Pantheon. Coming into like Hyperdrive was okay set, I guess. But I liked using these fan favorites cards. I know Next obviously happened a lot later last year. Next is a really interesting time. I just wish, but obviously Next happened a little bit earlier. But yeah, like, I just had a lot more interest in booting up the game. And then in 2020, my god, there was different stuff every day. Like, we were getting like Evo. There was no Evo updates, by the way, on this. Like, it doesn't show Evo updates on, as far as I'm aware, on 2K MT Central. But like, there were so many Evo updates as well that we just didn't have. Every day in 2020 there was something to log in and look forward to. Most days in 2020 and 2K21 there's something to look forward to. 2K22, it's gotten to the stage where, honestly, I look at the database, I read a few stats, I record some gameplays because I have to on my channel. But at the end of the day, if I wasn't running a YouTube channel, I would look at the stats of these cards, realize that we've already essentially used every single one of these cards in the past with no difference, and turn off my console, because there's just no point. Like, I get it. I get that there are positives to this, like, releasing only 2 players because everyone gets a chance to use them. There are also negatives, and I think that, well, maybe if those Tuesday and Friday drops were supplemented with reasons to play the game, then I'd be all for them, because there are definite positives. However, when you bring that and you don't supplement with reasons to play the game, it literally turns the game into a situation where the only enjoyable thing to do for people is to open packs, and there's no real reason to actually play the game. So yeah, look, I know they're focusing on 2K23. I know they are. There's no question about that. But I can't just, like, there's no point in sitting, even though I kind of know the reasons why. It doesn't change the fact that we as consumers, they're expecting us to put our hard-earned money into the game, when we're literally, this entire season can be pretty much summed up in Control C, Control V. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.